Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Sharon Jones, and welcome to the very first episode of Cook and Code with Dr. Sharon. We're going to be exploring how we can utilize things that are happening in everyday life, and in particular around the kitchen and cooking, and how we can relate that to computer science. So today I'm starting with one of my very most favorite things. I even have my own sweatshirt, ranch, homemade. I love ranch dressing. My son Dylan loves ranch dressing. And so we're always exploring about how to make our own homemade ranch. So I found this recipe called Buttermilk Jam Jar, right? And I wrote it down. And I wrote it down some time ago because I have not tried it yet. So today, what I wanted to do is explore the concepts around an algorithm and a sequence. So when you're cooking and you're thinking about creating a dish, you are following a recipe step by step. And that's called an algorithm. Ultimately, what we do algorithms for is to create something called automation. So you can think about it like this. If you take a box of Kraft mac and cheese and you follow that recipe, it should taste the same every time you make it. That's what we call an automated algorithm. We use that often when we're looking at our social media, even when we put in passwords and we can save them and they automatically fill in, right? Those are algorithms that automatically execute. So we're going to see if this recipe is true and is delicious. Okay. So our algorithm is a half a cup of buttermilk, a half a cup of sour cream, 2 tablespoons of mayo, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of fresh chives, a clove of garlic, and kosher salt. So I think I have everything here except for our garlic. Let me grab the garlic out of the refrigerator, and then I'll grab some salt when it's time. So here I've got my garlic now. So I like to use the minced garlic instead of the chive. Here's another concept in computer science. It's called a variable. And sometimes when you're cooking, you may exchange things because maybe you don't like mayonnaise. So you might want to use Greek yogurt instead of mayonnaise. That's a variable, something that changes or varies. So even though our algorithm is laid out, you do have the opportunity to change that. All right, let's see what happens, you guys, because I've never tried this. And really, for some reason, I did not actually write down after you do all these things, I think we just shake it. Okay. Could be called a loop. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to open up our buttermilk, and I have a measuring cup here, and it is a half of a cup. Now, here's a little bit of math for you. If you don't have a half a cup, you can take a full cup and just do half of it, right? So I'm going to do a half a cup of buttermilk. We're in that in. Second one is a half a cup of sour cream. Now, what I did is I picked up a little bit of a smaller container at the store because I don't always need sour cream. This sour cream is 8 ounces, and 8 ounces actually is equivalent to 1 cup. So I only need half of this in order for this particular recipe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in my measuring cup just because I want to make sure. But if you are a good cook, you might want to actually just eyeball it, because I think in the end, that sour cream is really what's going to make it thicker, like that ranch dressing that we like. In the South, well, maybe anywhere, ranch dressing goes on just about anything, and in particular, pizza crust. And if you are Dylan Jones, who is my son, everywhere we go, we have to ask for ranch dressing, and then we actually will judge based on their ranch dressing. Tell everybody that. All right, I'm going to use my little towel over here. Okay, so I've got a half cup. So I'm on step 2, half a cup. All right, 2 tablespoons of mayo. Now, one thing I noticed when I was going through my supplies to get ready for this is I can't find my full tablespoon. So I actually have a half a tablespoon here. Oops, that we can use that. So I'm going to do 2 of these scoops to make the 1 tablespoon. So notice how I'm using fractions as we're thinking about this. 1, 2. Oops, swinging over here into my ranch homemade. We are seriously making homemade ranch today, people. All right. I've also heard you could put anchovies in it. And so this is a little bit of a variation of that. All right. And then we need 2 tablespoons of mayo. Whoopsies. So I've got to add 2 more. I should read my instructions. Okay, so I'm following the sequence. So I did 1. I need to do 2 more because remember, this is only half of a tablespoon. Okay, and then I need 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. This is a little bit, is not as tart as your regular vinegar. Super inexpensive. Okay, Then this says 1 clove of garlic. So with this, sometimes I will just eyeball. Like, so it says on here that 1 clove of garlic is like half a tablespoon, half a teaspoon. So we're going to just kind of dig in here, get us a little, ooh, smells really good. And put that right on in there. Okay. Let's see. We need some kosher salt, which I just have regular salt. So we're just going to put a little bit of regular salt in here. You know, kosher salt's my favorite too, but now, the one thing here that I was not able to find at the store was fresh chives. So I'm using what is called freeze dried. And freeze dried, all that means is there's a chemical process that they put your chives into the machine and take all of the water out so that it freeze dries them and you can use them anytime. So we're going to put this in here. That says about 2 tablespoons. I think I eyeballed that a little bit. All right. So again, I'm coming to the end of my sequence here. I've got everything in here except I might end up needing a little more salt, but I have followed my sequence. I have done I have a cup of buttermilk. We have our sour cream, mayo, apple cider vinegar, chives, garlic, salt. All right. Our sequence. And as we go now, in this particular situation, we could vary the sequence. But when we're thinking about this in computer science, we don't want to do that because it could cause problems. All right. So here we go, everybody. I'm going to shake it up. We're going to make us a little bit of ranch homemade. We'll see if it's delicious or not. All right. Looks pretty good. All right. Now, when you think about shaking on a recipe, you could actually put in that you want to shake 15 or 20 times to give it be very specific. This is a little bit thin. So I'm going to use my spoon here and just sort of mix it up. I'm going to take this and just do a little dip. Oh my goodness, it's actually really good. I might add a little bit more sour cream to it just to make sure that it's a little bit thicker and a little bit more salt. But you guys, we just did ranch homemade, following an algorithm for a recipe, walking through the steps, which is the sequence. And you could show a little bit of variability with that. Thank you so much for joining me on our first Cooking and Code with Dr. Sharon Jones, or Dr. Sharon. I'll put the recipe in our notes, and I hope you'll make some ranch homemade and let me know what you think. And if you have used it on a salad, or you dip it in veggies, or maybe you can put it on that pizza crust. Thanks so much. And again, thank you for joining Cook and Code with Dr. Sharon.